What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's up, people? It's me. I'm L3027. You know who I am.
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose, honey.
He's about the business of dipping spoons into sugar bowls. Anyway, real girls do real things. So as to make it easier for insertion, maybe?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? What is up? It is me, L3027, and I am back for yet another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be our review for Chasing Dallas. It is season 4. It is episode 5. It is entitled Receipts Don't Lie. Now listen, I am back to wearing my masks, my PPE, and today we don't went with industrial strength PPE. Got me over here looking like I'm Bane off of Batman or some shit. Listen, I don't have the. This might be my last episode, y'all. I don't have the energy. I told y'all I'm good for about a good 45 minutes. Baby, y'all around here with hour and 15 minute, hour and 30-minute episodes. A bitch just can't. I can't do it. I can't. Girl, let me get this over with. You know what? Because I think this is going to be it for me. I need protection from some of the bullshit on this show today. I just can't. We start off with Lon D. We still at Lon D's brunch. DeAndre still pulled off into some other room. Sean still sitting over there on the couch going in. There was no resolution to any of this whole situation, which goes back to what I said last episode. Why the fuck, Lon D, would you go into this whole thing of bringing all of this shit up, knowing that this shit is not gonna go well, and then you just leave it out there, no resolution, no nothing. Oh, y'all argue, scream, fuss, fight. Okay, now we're gonna go play games. What? So what was the point of bringing all this shit up? I don't have this type of energy. I don't. I mean, that was stupid, Lon D. I'm just going to call it for what it is. This shit was stupid. You seem a little too old to be making those unwise decisions, Lon D. But I don't know, child. I give people too much credit sometimes. Moving on. Like, there was no resolution, no finality, no nothing, whatever. Their production posts a message saying that DeAndre refused to film any more green screens for the rest of the season. Then why is he here to begin with? See, now I got to give y'all a little bit of production. Love y'all down. However, we only 5 episodes in. I don't know how many episodes in this season. Maybe it's only 8 episodes. If it's only 8 episodes in the season, then I'm going to go with you. But if you mess around and have 12 episodes this season, then I got to call you out, production. Because if this troglodyte refused to do any more green screens for the rest of the season, why is he even on? Why aren't you editing around him? Could it be because maybe the fight is the only real thing that you thought would entice people to watch this season? Like, that's a real question. Because if I had a member of the cast and I'm production and this motherfucker decided that they were not going to film green screens anymore, you would not be a part of the cast. I would edit around you. I don't know. And then, DeAndre, for you to come over here talk about you don't want to film any more green screens. Why? Because production showed you for who you are, a complete and utter buffoon, a fucking idiot, a troglodyte, a fucktard, an ass clown. You mad at production because they put a mirror in front of you and said, hey bitch, you ain't shit. See it right here in the mirror, but you don't want to do no more green screens because of that? All of this education you got, you ain't seen all this time, the bitch, you ain't shit? Ain't nobody tell you that? You got these great friends. Where the fuck has Oliver been this whole time? Why the fuck he ain't tell you, bitch, you ain't shit? Unless you came on this show and gave us some caricature that you thought was going to be popular, or you thought was going to make you the villain or the Nene Leaks or whatever you thought it was going to make you. You ain't shit. You come off as an ain't shit ass person. And I refuse to believe that this is a caricature. I believe this is who you are, which is an ain't shit ass motherfucker, which is somebody who nobody wants to be around, which is somebody who doesn't deserve the same airspace as the rest of us productive members of society. Why are you here? Why do you breathe? Why are you here? I'm just asking. Because me donning the industrial strength PPE today is because of you and your level brand of fuckery. Why take me on this ride and then say, oh, well, he ain't doing no more green screens? Then why are you here? If you know you're going to be on a reality show, green screens are a part of the contract. Green screens are a part of being on the show. So at the moment that your ass says, I ain't doing no more green screens, that's the moment that we say we're editing them out of the show. I told you I didn't want to see no fucking fight when the fight happened. So a fight is not worth all of this fuck shit. It's just not worth it. I didn't want to see the fight. I don't care to see another fight. And so if all he brought to the show was what he thought was a couple of good reads and a fight, he need to be on the show. Ever. And he should never be on another television screen, computer screen, phone screen, or any screen in life. Astro goes to some event space because he's planning an event called Dallas Takeover. I ain't care. Moving on. Trey at home. He calls his friend to talk about a conversation that he had with his father, and they discuss the issues that he has with his dad and his relationship with his dad, or the lack thereof of a relationship. Now, he's having some real daddy issues. I'm gonna have to give you some. I'm gonna have to talk to you during this whole thing. Let me talk. Let me say what happened in this scene. That I'm gonna have a conversation with you, Trey. So he then calls the dad. He says, "Oh, why you don't want to see me?" The dad says, "Oh, no problem. What? Let's meet up." Trey then starts saying, "Well, what about you and the other family and so forth?" The dad said, "Man, this ain't about the other family. I thought you wanted to meet up." Trey then proceeds to continue down this path of talking about the other family. The dad is like, "Man, it ain't even about this. I'm talking," and Trey would not let the other family go. And the fact that the dad has another family until the dad was like, you know what, and he hangs up the phone. Trey gets all of his feelings. Trey starts crying. His boyfriend come. Trey starts saying, oh, he don't love me. Why he don't want to love me? Why nobody loves me? This, that, and the third. That was the scene. Now here's the deal, Trey. Trey, you got to get some tough love here, sweetheart. This is gonna come out harsh, so I'm just gonna preface by saying that, okay? Let me take down the mask so you can hear me. This is gonna come out harsh, Trey. I know you watch my reviews, so I want you to hear me. Listen, Trey, as a man of, at that time, I don't know how old you are now, but at that time you said you were 26 years old. Because there comes a time in your life where you have to let things go and your parents can't be the reason for something. In the same breath that you said that your parents did not get you the success and fame that you got, that you had to individually work hard, grind, and all of that stuff to make that happen. When that happened, when you decided to get on your grind and you just started to man up or person up or whatever you want to, and grind and make it happen, that is the moment that you have to let go all of that stuff. All of the stuff that went into childhood and everything, and why this didn't happen and why that didn't happen, you got to let that shit go. Because while you're complaining, oh, my dad wasn't there, oh, my dad doesn't love me, there are a whole lot of people who don't even have parents to even complain about. There are people whose mom and or dad either died at birth, or the dad might have died even before they were born. And they don't even have that anything to complain about. And so my thing is this: when I listened to the interaction that you had with the father, and yes, you may be angry with the father, but when you got on the phone with the father, and maybe they edited some of it out, I will say that, I don't know. But from the conversation that we heard, it seemed like the dad was like, yes, let's meet up. And you would not let go of the fact that the dad had another family or had more children, and you would wanted to talk about, well, what about the children? Well, what about this? And you be a child, and the dad wasn't even talking about what you were talking about. You came in. It seemed to me that you came in ready to windmill. You were ready to argue with the dad, and the dad didn't give the same energy. The dad didn't give the energy that he came down to argue, fuss, and fight with you. When you started off by talking about meeting up, and the dad said, "Yes, let's meet up." You then immediately, because I guess maybe you weren't prepared for the dad to so quickly say, "Okay, let's meet up." And so you needed something to argue about, and so you pivoted to talking about the other child, which and I get it. Now I understand there may be some jealousy that the father is giving time, effort, energy, and devotion to this young child who's going to end up growing up with the dad, and you didn't. But that's fine. That's okay. Your child. Listen, let me help you understand something. Guess what? You spend more of your life, hopefully, for most people, you spend exponentially more of your life as an adult than you do as a child. And it just seems so weird to me that people spend so much energy focused on that small amount of formative childhood years, not knowing that you got so many more years that you get to live outside of being a child. Don't cry over the spilled milk. If your daddy wasn't there, fine. Keep it moving, because guess what? You're an adult right now. You said you're trying to be someone else's father, and you can't be hanging on to daddy issues when you try to have a child of your own and become a father. He's already proven he sets a deleterious example of what a father should be. So that's not the person that you should be looking to give you example of what a father is. I'm just being brutally honest. You look like you have a great group of friends in Dior and some other people who were able to fill those gaps and be there for you, which is one of the great things about the gay community. But you gotta let some shit go. It is at the point now. Listen. Anita Baker has a great song that's called "No More Tears," and you need to get to the point where you do like Anita Baker and say, "Ain't no more tears, no more tears, no more. We ain't crying for you no more, baby. You ain't want me, great. I'm over here. I got me. The people who I love got me. I'm not hurting for love and affection." The other part that I saw that kind of bothered me a little bit too, Trey, is you got a whole ass man who loves and adores you dearly, at least from what we can see. I don't know the ins and outs of your relationship, but at least from what we can see. And part of it seemed like there was a little bit of jealousy that he has a great relationship with his family and you don't seem to have that. But he's there trying to love on you and wanting you to love on him. And while he's trying to love on you and show you maybe some of that love that you're saying that you missed as a child, you are crying about not being loved when you got somebody doing everything in their power to love you, and that's not fair to him. I sat there looking at James, and while you were crying, I felt worse for James than I did for you, because here he is doing everything to support you, to love you, to show you all of that love that you said you were missing. He knows about it because you told us he has a very good family, a great relationship. So all that love that you were missing, the good man upstairs gave you somebody that can give you all of that love. They're trying to give you all of that love, but at the same point, you were over here deflecting and wishing you had the love of somebody who doesn't want to give you the love. And that's not fair to the person who's trying to get you. You're missing out on all of the greatness that you have in your mate because you're wanting love from somebody who doesn't want to give you that love. So I really felt bad for Jay, because I was like, here this man is being supportive, embracing you, trying to give you all of this love, and you are crying saying nobody loves me. Why won't anybody love you? And there's somebody trying to do that. When you become an adult, that's the time when you kind of, even the good book says you leave your parents and go to your mate, your spouse, the person who will then supply you with all of the good love you need so that you can pass that on to your own children. And here he is trying to do that, and you're still crying about not having love. That's not fair. Because you do. You have great relationships with your gay father. You have great relationships with your mate, your partner, and there are a lot of people who don't even have there are many members of our gay community that don't have no gay parents that are there supporting them, that don't have anybody there, that are living in the streets, living by themselves, committing, attempting, and sometimes even committing suicide, don't have no boyfriend, don't have all of that stuff, don't even have any of those things, and would love to have what you have and have to cry themselves to sleep so as not to try to offer them their own selves. And I'm not saying that you are You can't cry about things. I'm not saying that what you're experiencing is not real and not bad, but what I'm saying is you commiserating about somebody who doesn't love you has you missing out, or not missing out, but not appreciating what you do have. The fact that those gaps and that void was filled by other people and other things. You looking for the love from over here, thinking that it has to come from over there. Meanwhile, fate, the universe, the man upstairs, whatever you believe in, gave you something to fill the gaps of what you thought that love was, and you're not even paying attention to it because you focused on the fact that you thought it was supposed to come from over there. I hope you hear what I'm saying. I know I just went off on this diatribe. I went on and on and on, but I hope you hear what I'm saying. I know, Trey, you listen to my reviews and you'll get in the comment section, and I hope I don't come off too harsh, but I really wanted to tell you that because that's what came out to me in this episode. I just wanted to tell you that. Moving on back to my PPE. Good. Anyway, Kiki goes and talks to some people from the ballroom about getting legendary or iconic status or whatever. Girl, I ain't care. Moving on. She went inside the club and started voguing. Kiki. Now, girl, you around here looking for legendary and iconic statuses. Baby, what you keep showing us is not legendary or iconic. Baby, that rolling on the floor was not it. That wasn't it. And I don't think it has nothing with you being a big girl or anything. Because I know a lot of big girls that get out there and turn it, honey. Baby, the big girls go out there and do everything that the small girls can do and more. What you doing over there, that ain't it, sweetheart. That's not it. And I wrote down, now this going to come out harsh too. You might have some friends that's not trying to be real with you, sweetheart. Like, your friends that you out here having this conversation about being iconic should be telling you, hey, mama, I know you want to get iconic status. Baby, that ain't it. Now, I can get you in contact with some people that can help you and work with you on your voguing and work with you on this, that, and the third, so you can get to that level and you practice and you perfect your craft and you can get there. But, baby, what we're seeing on this screen, that ain't no legendary status. That ain't iconic. That's some, oh, girl, that's chops. That would get chopped. Girl, that wasn't it. That rolling on the floor, that wasn't it, honey. Moving on. Dior meets up with his little brother. Little brother got a song with Wale. Dior does a modeling thing. It was cute. It was some nice little pieces there. I like that little part. I like them giving credit or giving an opportunity for a platform to show people, like, you know, the guy who, the designer and the different people that were modeling. I thought it was real cute. I really like that jacket that Dior had on. I really like that jacket. But I saw some other cute pieces as well. The hacker situation happened. I didn't know. I didn't understand what it was. And I wrote down, I'm not going to care until the hacker reveals themselves. We did see Oliver back in Texas with DeAndre at his house. Now, I'll give Oliver credit. Oliver calls DeAndre to the carpet. Bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Now, I'm seeing shit on social media. You out here carrying on. Bitch, I got you to fuck on this goddamn show. Meaning, you representing me and you showing your whole motherfucking ass. Your whole ass. Now, I like that Oliver took him to town on that. DeAndre gives Oliver his version of the story. And then Oliver tells him he's going to come up with this, something similar to when they went to the cabin and they did the mask on, mask off thing. And it really helped the cast in Atlanta get on the same page for 3 days. I guess. If 3 days is your goal, girl, go with it. But what got me is DeAndre, who had the nerve in the year of our Lord, 2023, to let roll off his tongue out of his mouth, off the same lips where a nut sack, a dick, some pubic hair, a little nut, butt crumbs, ass juices, and other things have rolled off the same lips and mouth. He let roll off his tongue, lips, and mouth that he's so attractive, and he see why it's so easy for people to be intimidated by him. I'm looking around to see in my own screen is like, you know, somebody finna jump out and say, yeah, that was all a fake, the real episode gonna come on with what he really said. Because a bitch, you said what? You're so attractive. Girl, I'm not even going there with you. Deon, you don't even believe that. You don't even believe that shit, Deon. Girl, if you don't go... Girl... DeAndre said that the lounge is going slower than he thought it was going to go. And he's still in these confessionals. Well, not in the confessionals, but because they say he didn't do no more confessionals. But he's still over there at the house reading people down for no reason. Just taking shots at people for no reason at all. But you wonder why people have a problem with you. You're ugly inside and outside at this point. Get off of our television screens. Kesey, we see him. He invites Jeff and Astro to this dance studio so they can rehearse for the performance they have at Astro's event. Baby, they only got one mic. They look a goddamn mess. Dior and Trey Howard is there. Dior said they look like the Cheetah Girls, and they look a mess. They did look a mess. They did. Dior is over there, I guess, trying to play manager. Dior, boo boo. It's not your lane. That's not your calling, sweetheart. Baby, leave that to the real professionals. All we need you to do is do some modeling, do some good hair, all of that. That's your lane. Stay right on over there. This managing music careers, the manager. That ain't your thing, sweetheart. No, let that go, boo boo. Astro said he ain't inviting DeAndre to his event. Whatever. Kesey also is going to perform another song that he did with Lyndon. That's the guy who did the album with Carrie D or whatever. It sounded cool. The song sounded pretty cool. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna download this one like I downloaded this song last week, but it was okay for what it was worth. We'll see if I download it. The cast, and then we see the cast starting to meet up at this place because they all got some cryptic message about something or other about the hacker. So we find out that the hacker is Oliver. That shit was whack. I'm just gonna be real honest. I'm thinking you finna bring somebody out from season 1 or season 2. Oliver, the way in which you even presented it as was like it was somebody who was no longer on the show. Oliver was never on Chasing Dallas. He was never on Chasing Dallas. So there's no coming back to Chasing Dallas if he was never on Chasing Dallas. He's on Chasing Atlanta. The fuck was that? That shit was whack as hell. At that point, I was kind of checked out. Because I was like, this shit is whack as fuck. So then we see Kesey and Astro came real late. Now, hold on. Let me take a swig because this going to come out harsh again. Whew. So then, Kesey came with Astro extra late. Now, I wrote down in my notes, was DeAndre right when he inferred that Kesey ain't got no car, that he was catching a bus everywhere? Because every time we see Kesey, he's coming with Astro. As if Astro is giving him a ride. And it's no problem if you ain't got no car. Hey, it happens. Shit, I'm just asking. Just inquiring minds want to know. Because if it seemed like the read didn't land to me, or it's for the rest of us viewing public, because we don't know who's driving where or whatever. So when DeAndre tried to land that read, said, oh, he coming on the bus, we was all probably looking like, girl, what are you talking about? But now, knowing that maybe Kesey doesn't have a car and that's why he's riding with Astro everywhere, that might be why he's making nights with Astro, so he can make sure he have a ride where he need to go. I don't know. But the read hits different now if we know that Kesey don't have a car. Yet and still, why is you still reading people, DeAndre? Find you something to do with your life. But I'm just saying, I don't know. Whatever. Trey seemed like he don't like Oliver. Like, as soon as he saw Oliver, Trey was like, girl, I'm not here for this shit. Girl, he was rolling his eyes and doing all, every time Oliver talked, he was like, listen, I want to know where the beef came from. Where the smoke for Oliver came from. Inquiring minds want to know. He said, listen, I'm leaving early because I ain't got time for Oliver trying to act like Iyanla. Girl, I ain't got that type of time. Especially, bitch, you over here trying to fix our cast. You can't even fix your own cast. You always got more fighting and carrying on over there than we could ever have over here. Girl. Anyway. At that point, I think I fell asleep. I really think I fell asleep. I did. I fell asleep. When I woke up from my quick slumber, I mean, I was slobbing at the mouth and all. I was asleep. I ain't gonna even lie. I had to wipe off the slob and shit off my face. I was asleep for real. I ain't gonna even lie. But when I woke up, they was at the car outside hugging Trey. I wasn't gonna rewind back. I ain't care what happened on the inside. I ain't know. I ain't care. I was not red balling back. Nope. I wasn't gonna rewind. They wasn't getting that much more of my time. Girl, I told you I can only do 45 minutes. After that, girl, I'm checking out. But then they crying and carrying on. Trey still crying about his dad. Everybody said, "Oh, I have my dad." This, that, and the third. Listen, as gay black men in America, we gotta let go of this daddy shit. This shit, you gotta let that shit go. Your dad wasn't here, great. It's a lot of other people, a lot of just black men, period. You gotta let it go. There's a whole lot of dads out here. If they was in your life, many of them you probably wouldn't want in your life because some of them are very toxic. And some of them ain't as accepting of homosexuality and ain't trying to accept it. So if they were around, you may be faced with other issues that you didn't know you would have. So be thankful maybe sometimes that you were removed from a situation that could very well be way worse than what you experienced with them not there. Let it go. Move on. Listen, you talk about to somebody who grew up without the mom or the dad in their relationship. I have either one. I have a relationship with both of them now, but I don't carry that shit on from them not being there when I was a child. I don't care. I'm over here and I'm doing great. I made a great life for myself, and I don't make them feel bad about my great life. I don't make them feel good or bad about it because I know what I did, and I moved on. They have their life, I have mine, and we good. I call my mom when I need to. I call my dad when I need to. I see them. We good. Hey, and we moved on with life. Baby, I ain't got to be over here crying, carrying on about where they was and where they was not. Because obviously I did well enough to where God, the universe, the man upstairs, fate, destiny, or whatever, put enough around me and in my life that made up for that void, that filled the gap, and I became a great person. I never held. That was one thing I never held on to. I never had mommy or daddy issues, and I didn't have either one in my life. It just was not a big deal for me. I just moved on. But y'all gotta let that shit go. DeAndre and Keith, they go back inside. DeAndre and Kesey talk. Baby, nothing happened. I don't even know why they even had that back and forth between DeAndre and Kesey. Nothing got resolved. Nothing. Nothing. DeAndre, Astro, and Sean then start talking. And the more Astro talked, the more I was like, he doesn't fit in. He doesn't. Astro is too much younger than the rest of the group. And I know some of you all might say, well, most of the group is in their mid-20s and, maybe in their 30s. That gap between about 21, 22, and 25 is huge. That's a huge gap. The mindset at 22 is light years away from the mindset of a 25, 26. I'm telling you. And it came forward in this part of the episode. Astro just seemed out of place. His mindset, his way of thinking, you could see the immaturity there. You could see he's young. And I think he fits more with the cast of rookies than this cast. Because this cast is older. Their mindset, their way of thinking is much different from him. And he just feels out of place. He feels out of place. He's too, it just didn't fit for me. That's what I wrote down. For example, when Astro went off, said, oh, when you did that and you started fighting, I cut you off, or, I can't get past that, and da-da-da-da-da. And Lonnie said, but wait a minute, bitch. You said you can't get past what he did because that's not good for your career. How are we supposed to get past you and you did the same thing he did? And if you were so concerned about career and how that's going to make you look, why then, sir, are you jumping in a fight saying that you're concerned about how something going to make your career look, but yet you're doing things that could be detrimental to your career? Make it make sense. I was with Lon D on that, but see, that's that young thinking. They only are tunnel vision. They only see their side, not looking at the totality of the situation. Because in 3 seconds, Lon D called you right on out, and everything you said to DeAndre was null and void. Everything that you said out your mouth to DeAndre had no more value and weight because everything he did, you did. A mess. But those are the things that a person that's 22 and young like that is going to say. Good, bad, or in between. That's how they behave. And that's why I say he doesn't really fit with the rest of the group. Put him more rookies. And the last thing, because it kind of went off on after that, the last thing I wrote down was, why was Ted Lee and Kiki there? Like, y'all could have not even had Ted Lee and Kiki come, and it would have been the same. I don't even know if there was anything resolved in this whole thing. I don't even know if there was any mending of fences, or I don't know. The whole episode was a waste of time for me. I can go to sleep now because I slept during the episode. So I'm gonna stay. Well, no, I can't go to sleep now. I'm gonna stay up for a little bit. I slept during the episode. That's all I got for y'all. Please don't look for me next week. I'm not saying I'm not gonna watch the episode, but don't come over here looking for a review. Normally, you know how I say, if you see me, look for me. If you don't see me, don't look for me. Just don't look for me. That's all I got until next time, next review. Next live Saturday. We'll be live Saturday, noontime, Easter, for Silly Saturday. Y'all come around here, watch my Silly Saturday live. It's the funnest thing on there. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. Until next time, that's all I got. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.